Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled People. Story 1. Entitled Pet Owners in My Area. Being a first-time dog owner, I am learning just how entitled other people are with their animals. Plus just how clueless as well. In my area it's sadly not uncommon for pets to be unleashed in the middle of town. People believe we are rural enough with the forest at our backs that leash laws are just a courtesy. Needless to say, I have been charged twice by extremely aggressive dogs while the owners have been outside. Lost count of how many times I've been charged with my own dog walking around. Luckily so far it's all ended with friendly encounters with my pup. Each time I have had the owners get extremely pissed off with me when I tell them to leash their dog and remind them that they got lucky. Like I am apparently not allowed to be upset over being charged by an unknown dog since it all worked out okay in the end. The two owners with the aggressive dogs have literally threatened me for saying next time I will take action than just calling for their help. So on to two encounters I have had this past month. The first one was a white doodle that had a pink harness. He poofed out of nowhere and approached us. I tried to keep my pup behind me cause at the time we were taking a evening walk, too damn hot for the floof. I am looking around for its owner when I see a very large-sized woman come lumbering over calling the dog's name, dragging two ankle biters behind her. She has no regard to my own dog being behind me and brings her yappers over to grab her dog. Luckily no fights. All the while I am talking to her. Me, hey, did he get free? Her, no, I let him walk himself. Me, what? Around here while others are walking their dogs? You realize just how lucky you got today that they are friendly. Leash him. Her while lashing him in an I am sorry I got quick voice, well sorry, nothing happened. My second encounter was on my way to work. Our bus stop is beside our post office and has a very busy road. Since it's also the main street in town. I see this white car park on the other side of the road. A large white doodle goes running out of THW car, across the road and to the post office. Followed by a very well-dressed soccer mom. It's when she comes back to her car that she has the issue. The dog crosses the street and Ren starts running all over. She doesn't make much effort to catch it other than trying to say a recall. Eventually I go over to help. Me, did he get free on ye? Her, no, I let him come with me to the post office. Usually he is better than this. Dog trots past me like he had done to her many times and I grab the leash to give her. This is a very busy area, you should have a handle on his leash. What a crappy owner you are. She goes back into her car with that fake smile and laugh before speeding off. Leaving me to wonder, why can't people leash their pets? Story 2. Karen was upset we put our beach chairs in front of her. I've been in FL for the last couple of weeks and the beach near our home has some chairs with umbrellas that you can rent. They have to remain in the positions they were set up in and there are some local regulations that the chair rental companies have to be a certain distance off the water, 30 to 50 feet. Like everyone else who brought their own chairs, we set ours around 10 feet from the water line. Away from the rental chairs. It's not like you could set up in between them. Anyway, this couple rented 2 of the chairs and an umbrella and shortly after we sat down she got up and went to find the manager. She stated that they paid for an ocean-front view and that we were impacting their experience. We were seated about 10 lower than them as the beach slopes down from the flat area their chairs were on. We also were about 20 away from them. Karen then demanded the manager ask us to move. He asked them to shift to the chairs to the right, they did. Glared at us and then promptly left. Edit for fun, the reason they left is because another couple set up in front of their new spot around 10 minutes after this happened. They were probably 5 to 10 feet to the right of us and 20 from that couple in the paid-for chairs. Story 3. Neighbor tries to tell me when to walk my dog. I just moved in with my mom for a new place due to disability. I'm currently rarely able to walk my dog and when it's not far. My mom does most dog walks. Karen told me several times, when, how often and how long to walk my dog, including exact times. This works for her dog who's significantly younger than mine and had a hard time learning to potty outside. She had seen my dog all of 3 times when she started that shit. My dog is almost 14, has a pre-existing health condition that affects his mobility, can't walk as long anymore without pain of fatigue, doesn't want to walk as often anymore, has no issues with pottying inside, tells you when he needs to go outside of our potty rounds, needs a good while to get his body going and be ready to walk in the morning, which suits me as my body is the same, and has never been a morning person. Like even when we both walked 5 to 7 kilometers a day in the mountains, I had to sometimes force him to get up and go potty by 11 am, and he always needed a lot of motivation to go out before 9 am. Which is accounted for by a late night potty round. I told his former foster, a certified dog trainer who helped me set up the perfect potty and exercise routines depending on what was going on with him health-wise, and she answered, direct quote, he's not even able to sort his 4 legs at 7 am, and at 6 am he neither knows where he is, nor who he is. Which is a perfect description of my boy. Other crap this lady said, all her disabilities and health struggles are just psychiatric, after failing to downplay them, implying because she can do more than me and is my mom's age I'm just lazy because I can't lift heavy stuff, do things that require strength or balance, and my mom is spoiling me a bit due to being in month 4 of 24/7 extreme pain. Before February it was only 10 days a month that were that bad and 20 days of manageable pain, and helping me get up and walk when I'm dizzy. Telling me it's totally wrong that we moved into our new place without renovating. A nicely renovated place is great, but it takes time and money we didn't have. Trying to rile up my dog to bark because she's annoyed he barely does that and stops on command while her well-trained dog barks all the time. Joke's on her, my dog stopped on command, saying it's alright, because that's one of the things we focused on in training. Informed me that he needed my help and I came to rescue him from that mean person annoying him, telling me I need to use water to train the street dog behavior out of him and that he's damaged because after 9 years on the streets you can't get rid of trauma and survival strategies, even though he was fostered by a dog trainer. The list of damage needs to always be on leash due to an independent streak, though he always comes back to me absolutely happy, just not always in the moment I want him to, a tendency to hunt and a tendency to jump at cars. According to his X-ray he has once been hit by a car and sustained spine damage, is a master thief that needs to be outmaneuvered constantly to prevent suicide by food and has a hard time stopping to beg or take food, needs supervision and guidance to do that, as well as exchanging stuff he found for treats, doesn't work perfectly. Or in other words, this dog has a history. I'm not sure if I should be infuriated or amused. Edited to add, I love all the petty responses, but she's my landlady's sister and it took months to find an affordable place where my dog is allowed and they don't mind I'm on social security, which they shouldn't anyways because not only is that income, but also the rent goes from my mom's account and she has a for German standards quite sufficient income. Add in that my mom hasn't fully paid off the high 5 to low 6-figure debt my father put her in yet, and well, it's better to keep the pettiness to a level that doesn't gives her grounds to try and get rid of us. Edit 2. This is countryside and what's considered meddling or genuine interest plus what's considered rude is a little different than in the living situations of most people here. Therefore polite variations of shut up, ignoring etc. will only bring more trouble. Story 4. Crazy and entitled. Was headed to my insurance office to add a car, and this lady races up the merge lane and tries to push in. Normally I'm a courteous driver and let people in, but this time I had the row, a bad custody exchange and held tight. She followed me into my insurance agent's parking lot and starts screaming at me and blocking me in. I was calm and said, if you try to open that door you are going to get fucked up, bitch. As I brandished a 1 piece of 1/0 cable. She runs into traffic to stop a police car. And he pulls in and blocks us both off. Cop walks up to my truck, and asks what the problem is, and I said I don't have a problem, I did not even leave the truck. He sees my daughter, too, and his eyes opened twice the size. He told she was wrong and asked me if I wanted to press charges. I said for what? Being a lunatic? Long story I know, but I didn't want this nutcase having my name and address. But I did have to go put insurance on my new car after them witnessing that shit. Story 5. Family member got mad because I didn't edit my sister's paper. This happened years ago, but still makes me ask, WTF? Just for context, my sister is a very slow typer and she had very poor grammar. When she was in middle school, she had a report due the next day or 2 days from this time. My mom, knowing I can type 90 to 100 WPM, words per minute, asked me to help by typing up this paper. I agreed because it was only a 2-page paper. I sat down at my computer with her, my sister's, handwritten draft. As I got typing, I realized that she had a lot of grammatical errors. In my mind, that was her job to read it over and make sure it was written properly. I type up the paper with all of her grammatical errors and misspellings and print it off. I give it to my mom. When my mom read it, she yelled at me saying I should have fixed my sister's mistakes. I know editors exist to check for grammatical errors and to make sure the text flows, but they give the person who originally wrote it corrections to make for him/herself. I was already doing a huge favor typing up this paper that was due soon, but I'm not going to do all her work. Story 6. My family, except my dad, is entitled. For reference, I, 15M, and she is a 8yo piece of crap. A, she is the golden child, along with my other sister who is her twin. B, one time, I am playing a game on my PC, and she's also playing, I think it was Minecraft. And B dies in game and A comes and yells at me for looking at her while I was playing. I was looking at my PC the entire time, and she yells for my mom who comes and yells at me for being a snot, Karen sometimes, and I am trying to talk while my sisters and my mom are yelling at me. My mom looks at my computer and says, "You like gaming, hey?" And she just kicks it. Full force, I am yelling at her to stop. Thankfully, my less entitled dad is there to help me, and he stops everything. I am in tears now as my mom unplugged IT as IT was running a update. After she died in the game I was done and turned it off. Windows update came and I was waiting, and my computer has not worked since. My $900 computer's fan is broken from her kicking IT and IT was broken and the case was dented. I ended up telling it to a friend who told his mom and I was saved. She and a bunch of people spam my mom asking for her to pay for my PC since it didn't turn on because of her pulling the plug. My dad saved me again and forced her to pay for a new case, fan, plug, she broke it, and some other stuff. I now have nothing good to show from that. Am I entitled for being pissed off? TLDR, my sister yelled at me for no reason and my mom broke my PC because of it. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.